Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, and I'm here for my Sunday night shenanigans to recap Friday's episode of Life After Lockup. And let me tell you, there is a lot to talk about. So I'm going to let you guys gather up in the room. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. I had beef stew for dinner tonight, and I am in a lazy mode. I got to tell you, my mother-in-law just arrived. She's having some beef, and it's just a lazy Sunday around here. So Friday's episode, I have lots of feelings, lots and lots of feelings, especially the way Melissa's family treated Louis, Mike and his kids, and Chance. And we all know how I feel about Chance, but we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. But first, I want to start with Brittany and Key-Rock, because when we last left them in the last episode, Brittany was screaming because she was about to jump out of a plane. But it was all worth it, because at the end of it, she got a proposal. But she was screaming her head off. And it was so funny because while she was falling from the sky and Tammy and Key-Rock's brothers were there watching her, Tammy was watching her, and Tammy was like, child, if she doesn't close her mouth, the bugs are going to fly in. And I just started cracking up because, it's true. So Brittany is like, falling from the sky. And she made it. She didn't die. And she falls on top of Key-Rock. And Key-Rock pulls out the ring. And Tammy's like, hello, look over here. I'm standing here holding this sign. Look over here. It was just so cute. The whole thing was just so cute. I mean, they're a cute couple. Brittany, she could be whiny. We all know she could be whiny at times, a lot of the time. She could, be annoying. But overall, they're a cute couple. And this whole scene was just adorable. Okay. So she got her proposal. Key-Rock put the ring on the finger. And then she was saying that, she kind of wished, her grandmother could be there. And Key-Rock was like, I called her and I got her blessing. And Brittany just broke down into tears. And she's like, something? I love you so much. You're the best. And they both called her grandmother. And, you could just see Brittany she was just overjoyed that Key-Rock thought to call her grandmother and to get the blessing from her. And I was just sitting there watching them going, oh, they're just so cute. And that's the only word I could find to summarize this whole segment. It was cute. And I love Tammy. I want Key-Rock's mom to adopt me. I'm going to say this over and over. Tammy, will you adopt me? Okay? She is the fucking best. So now we have Brittany and Key-Rock getting engaged. And now we're going to move on to Chevelle and Quaylon, who can't even look at a wedding venue without the mamas fighting. Okay, so we're going to pick up. The mamas are arguing. And Quaylon's mom, guys, give me a second. I have to blow my nose. I'm going to mute myself. Sorry, I apologize. My allergies are killing me today. Quaylon's mom. She is, okay. So they're arguing. The mamas are going at it. And Quaylon's mom, I'm not going to fight street people. Okay. They finally get the moms separated. And Chevelle's mom is walking away. And Quaylon's mom is like, go ahead, walk away with you and your SpongeBob body. And, I was stoned as I was watching the episode. And I nearly fell over. Okay. SpongeBob body. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining. SpongeBob body. And I almost fell over dying. Okay. So Quaylon is like, I just want peace. I just want peace. And the mamas are fighting. And, this is not conductive to peace. And I feel Quaylon wanting peace, but you wouldn't think so in his current life, but that's another story. So Quaylon is refusing to have the family, fuck up his peace. And he tells Chevelle, you better go take care of your mama. Chevelle goes out there and she's like, Mom, we're just looking at venues. Like, we haven't even gotten anywhere. Hi, Philly Fox. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. She's like, Mom, we're just looking at the fucking venues. Like, you need to calm down. And Chevelle's mom is like, I'm willing to help you. Okay. Anything pertaining to you. You need a dress, you need help, shoes, anything pertaining to you, Chevelle. I'm willing to help you, but I'm paying for nothing involving those people. I'm not paying for nothing that involving those people. They can pay. So Chevelle's like, oh God. Okay. So now Chevelle and Quaylon are cooking spaghetti and meat sauce. Will spaghetti be a theme of this season of Life After Lockup? Because first episode, we have Melissa with the jarred sauce and the frozen meatballs. And now this episode, we have Chevelle with the jarred sauce. But I forgive Chevelle because she's not Italian, okay? So Chevelle and Quaylon are making spaghettis and meatballs for Malia, Chevelle's daughter. Okay. Now we find out that during their breakup, Quaylon kept up a relationship with Malia, which I'm kind of like on, because you know something? If some dude broke up with me and he still wanted to have a relationship with my daughter after breaking up with me, I would tell him to go fuck himself, to be honest. Okay. You are not going to have a relationship with my kid unless you're that kid's biological father. Honestly, I mean, especially if you were in that kid's life for a short period of time, which Quaylon was, I would honestly tell that person to go fuck themselves. But Quaylon, kept up a relationship with Chevelle's daughter, and therefore, the relationship with Chevelle started up again. So Quaylon says Chevelle should be thankful for Malia. And I'm like, okay, so Quaylon, please don't throw spaghetti against the wall. Please. The Italian in me, I was just like, God, what is he doing? Why is he throwing spaghetti against the wall? Yes, I've heard, the whole throwing the spaghetti against the wall thing. Hi, Chanel. Thank you so much. The whole throwing the spaghetti against the wall thing, yes, I've heard about it. I get it. But God, when I saw Quaylon do it, I just cringed. So I just don't like the fact that Quaylon was like, you're lucky. If it wasn't for your daughter, we wouldn't be back together. I'm just like, dude. But, this go around, Chevelle says we're a package deal. Okay? If you break up with me, that's it. You're breaking up my daughter. So let's see how this turns out. So now we go from Quaylon and Chevelle trying to plan a wedding to Chance and Taylor, okay? And Chance being upset that he's not going to get his happily ever after. Hi, Sublime Soul. Thank you so much. Chance, you can go fuck yourself, okay? Honestly. So Bobby comes for a visit, and everyone, honestly, except for Chance, probably, is happy to see Bobby, okay? Bobby is healthy. Bobby's in a new relationship. Bobby comes over to visit, and Bobby announces that her and her boyfriend are getting married. And Taylor wants to be happy, but Taylor hasn't met the guy. She doesn't know if the guy is another Chance, which speaks, I mean, that says 1,000 things, okay? The fact that Taylor looked into the camera during her confessional and said that she hopes that Bobby's man is not another Chance. It's like, whoa. Okay, so Taylor wants to be happy for Bobby. But of course, being, Bobby's twin, she has her reservations and she wants to get to know the guy before she could give her full blessing. That totally understandable. Chance, being a douchebag that he is, can't be happy for Bobby because he wants to get married first. Excuse me? Hi, Vanessa. Excuse me? Chance, shut the fuck up. Okay? He's like, I can't believe that Bobby is getting her happily ever after before I am. Have you done anything to deserve your happily ever after? Especially now with Bobo coming after you. Now you really think you deserve your happily ever after? Okay, so Chance takes Scott, Bobby's man, to his friend. What is this guy's name? I think it was Zach. Okay, to his friend Zach to check out a money-making opportunity. Now, Scott knows that this is going to be Chance's chance to case him out. But Scott is going to be doing his own casing out of Chance because he knows, okay, all about Chance. Bobby gave him a full Chance lesson, okay? His gambling, his money problems, Taylor's trust issues with him. I'm sure Bobby gave him the whole rundown, okay? So Scott is going to do his own casing out of Chance. And let me tell you, it wasn't even like 2 minutes, I think, okay? Scott is already side-eyeing him in the car, like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Then they get to this money-making opportunity, okay? This money-making opportunity with Chance's friend, Zach, is, are you ready for this? A 1997 limo. Now, not only was this guy, his friend, Zach, and his dirty feet freaking me the fuck out, okay? But Chance actually thinks that this 1997 dusty ass limo is his money-making opportunity. Listen, this is going to solve all of his problems. He's $50,000 in debt. Did I mention? Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I've been yelling at Chance about financial responsibility. Every time he came on my channel with Taylor, or if he came on alone, I would lecture him about financial responsibility because he was so proud of his credit score. And he would brag over and over about the credit cards and the loans and etc. And I told him to take it from Miss Bankrupt twice about credit cards and financial responsibility and how easy it is to get sucked into, I should say, not suckered, sucked into the trap of credit. But of course, no, Chance did not listen, because why would he listen to this old boomer Karen? And a year later, he's on TV announcing that he's about 40 to 50,000 in debt. And I just said, okay, so he decides that maybe this dusty 1997 limo is going to be the resolution to all of his financial problems. But the problem is he needs $12,000 to invest. He needs to come up with $12,000 up front. And he's like, I don't even have $12. Hey, Scott, do you want to go in with me? Scott's like, hell's no. Okay. So I don't think that's going to work out. So Chance is like, do me a favor, don't tell Taylor, don't tell Bobby, but I need to come up with a side gig to come up with money because I'm having financial difficulties, but this is between us, okay? Even though I've known you for about 5 minutes, don't tell your fiance Bobby about any of this, okay? And Scott is like looking at him like, okay, whatever. But in Scott's confessional, he's like, hell's no. The first thing I'm going to do when I get home is tell Bobby all of this, and then I'm going to go tell Taylor. So I don't know, Chance. You're a fucking idiot. And so meanwhile, while he's off looking at the dusty 1997 limo with Scott, um, Taylor and Bobby are outside, and Taylor's working on one of her countertops, I guess. And this car keeps driving by slowly, slowly back and forth. Hi, Deidre. Slowly back and forth. And Taylor's like, what the hell is their problem? Like, am I taking up too much grass? Am I bothering them? Like, what is the issue? Now, you know, it's probably a producer or a friend or someone, but Chance, owes money. But at the moment, we know that this was a setup scene, okay? And a car's driving by, it slows down, and this mean looking dude is like, hey, is your old man home? And she's like, no, but how may I help you? And he's like, just tell him that Bobo said tick tock. He drives off. And Taylor was just telling Bobby about how, when she was at her meeting with the lady about the epoxy coffee table, how Chance suddenly comes running in and he's like, we gotta go. We gotta go. And he wouldn't tell Taylor what was going on. Now this dude comes driving by. Tick tock. Okay, yeah, you're a douche. So now, moving on from Chance being a douche, Louie and Melissa. I do not like the way Melissa's family was acting at all, and it was pissing me the fuck off. But we're going to get into that, okay? So it's the morning, and Louie is making her breakfast. And let me tell you, I would be really, really happy if my man was making me breakfast. But Melissa had to be a snarky bitch. And Melissa's like, where did you learn to make breakfast? You make breakfast for your mom? Who cares? He's making you breakfast, okay? Enjoy the fucking moment. Keep the snarky comments to yourself. Let him make you bacon and eggs and sit there and enjoy it. Who gives a shit if he's making his mother breakfast every day? He's making you breakfast at the moment, Melissa. Please. So she's like, it's so hard for me to stay mad at him because he's so cute. They're going off to meet the family. And, Louis is nervous as fuck. Okay. And Louis like, what should I call your father? Should I call him Dad? Should I call him Master? Should I call him Ron? What should I call him? I don't know what to call him. Okay. And as they're walking up, Dad says, if there's garbage to be found, my daughter will find it. I really hope that was editing and he didn't say that as he was walking up. And if he did, that is really fucked up. Okay. And it just went all downhill from there. So you could tell by the look on his sister's face, on her sister's faces, they were judging from like the minute he walked up. Okay. And it's like when her sister asked, did you pay for the trip? Did you Venmo him the money? Like, really? Like, come on. Like, and then the brother-in-law is like, he has more teeth than you. All of the snarky comments were not necessary. Not necessary. I mean, Mr. Brother-in-law, would you like all the snarky shit the first time you met the family? No. So what was out of you, especially snarky comments? Please. Okay. So they're all sitting around, and I just want to say, I love the fact that Donna called in the middle of the barbecue, like a good Italian mother should, to check on her son when she knows her son is in potential hostile territory. Okay. She had to call and check on him. And of course, they were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe your mother is calling to check on you. Hey, he was in hostile territory, okay? And Donna had to make sure her boy was okay. She knew what her boy was walking into because Melissa walked right into it with her, okay? So she knew that he was getting it back, and she had to check on him. And they were all like, oh my goodness. So Melissa's sister's like, why do we have to be nice? And Donna's like, why wouldn't you be nice? And I agree with her. Why wouldn't you be nice? You're just meeting him for the first time. I mean, unless he obviously does something, that's uncouth or is like an asshole at the table, why wouldn't you be nice? So Dad takes Louis off to the side. And this I have mixed feelings about, because I felt like that this kind of perpetuated the Italian stereotype of I'm going to break your kneecaps. But I get it, though. I get it. Dad wanted to get the point across. You fuck with my daughter, you're going to have to deal with me. Okay. And he had the bat to prove it. And Louis like, yes, sir. I get it. I break your daughter's heart. My kneecaps are broken. I get it. But now, seeing Louis stand his own against her family, turn Melissa on. It turned Melissa on big time. Okay. So Melissa decided to take him back to high school. And this just feeds into her fantasy. And I'm starting to think that Melissa is in love with the fantasy of Louis and not Louis himself. And it's really pissing me off, okay? Because up until the moment that Louis, really stood up for himself and held his own, she was like, I don't want to say disgusted by him, but she was not happy with him. And it was for no good reason, because Louis is doing his best. At the time of what we're watching, which was filmed many months ago, he was only out of jail for 4 months. So it's like, give the dude a break, okay? My glasses look crooked to me. Give the dude a break, okay? But seeing him stand up to her family got her horny. She takes him back to high school. They're sitting on the baseball field, and she tells him that she decided she's taking the relationship off pause, and she wants to fuck him in the dugout. Let's go in the dugout. Let's get busy. And the only thing she needs to fulfill this whole fantasy is his varsity jacket. And that, to me, just solidifies that Melissa is living out a fantasy. And she better not break Louis' heart, because if she breaks Louis' heart, I'm going to break her kneecaps. How about that? Okay? I mean, this is ridiculous. So now, moving on to children moving into homes, we have Lindsay and Blaine. Okay? Lindsay is back, guys. Put your seatbelt on. It's going to be another season of the Lindsay roller coaster. So now, Lindsay has bought a house, and Blaine and his son Keegan is living with her. And Keegan is adorable, okay? I just want to put that out there. Keegan is adorable. And he tugged at my heartstrings when he said that he considers Lindsay to be his mom. Now, speaking of tugging at the heartstrings, Miley Grace in the car with Brenda, her grandmother, excuse me, talking about adjusting, okay? And this whole big adjustment, because really, her grandmother is the only stable person that she's known in her life for the past 6 years, okay? Miley is 13, and Brenda, her grandmother, has been there for her, for as long as she can remember. And now it's going to be a big adjustment because she's going to move in with Lindsay. And you could just see the emotion in the conversation in the car. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So Blaine has a lot of time to make up with his son Keegan, because Keegan has been living with his grandparents. So there's a lot at stake here on both sides, okay? And Lindsay wants to get married. Lindsay's like, so when are we getting married? And Keegan, being the kid that he is, blurts out, well, my dad isn't ready for that yet. And Lindsay's like, oh, really? So dad is just good with us living in sin and not getting married. Okay. So all I have to say is Miley Grace's room has vomited pink. Okay. Pink everywhere as far as the eye can see, including, and I just want to say this, what the fuck? The pillow on the bed. Okay. I don't know what. I, I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of touch with teenage room decor, but I don't know why there was a pillow on her bed. Okay. So did you know that Brenda is actually Lindsay's step grandmother? Yeah. And she's raised Lindsay since Lindsay was 6 months old. And sometimes, it just proves that sometimes you don't have to be blood to be family. And Brenda, that's all I have to say. But, Brenda's very emotional about this whole transition, but this is what has to be done. Blaine, however, is worried that maybe Lindsay is taking on too much, okay? And she may revert back to her old ways, drugs. And he's worried about that. So Lindsay says that she's aware of her mistakes in the past, bad men, bad decisions, drugs, and she will not let anything come between her and her daughter again. So we shall see what happens this season on the Lindsay roller coaster. So now we move from Lindsay trying to transition her daughter moving into her home to Mike and Justine, and Mike telling his kids that he will be moving across the country, except he didn't tell them yet. But Melody found out from Kylie. Let's get into that. So, first of all, they are going to Rhode Island to see his younger children and Melody, his 16-year-old, and they are driving basically a tour bus. They have so many kids that they need a fucking tour bus to fit all of them. And then it's so funny to see Mike doing the head count. Okay. It's like, I remember when I used to chaperone the class trips when my son was little, like in the 3rd and the 4th grade, and the teachers used to do the head count. That's Mike, okay, with all of his kids. It's just okay. So his kids feel some type of way, especially Melody, okay, because he went away for 6 years and then he paroled in Pennsylvania. So they haven't seen him in 5 months. So now he's in Rhode Island. He goes to see his kids. They're all going to spend the night in the hotel. They all have matching blue silk pajamas. Justine, I want to know where you got those pajamas because, I mean, in all sizes, from adult to little ones, matching. It was like, whoa, okay. So they're all in the hotel. They get dominoes. Mike is hanging out with all of his kids. I mean, it's a great family moment. But like Justine told her kids and Michael Jr. in the tour bus before they pulled up, don't say anything to Melody and the little ones about us moving to Vegas. Let us tell them. Okay. So a whole night went by. It was the next day, and Melody and Kylie are doing makeup in their own room. And Kylie just happened to slip. Okay. Just happened to slip that they were moving to Vegas. Now, even if this was something set up by production, I say that Melody's reaction was unscripted because the look on her face, the pain on her face, nah, that was real. That was real. Okay. Production may have put Kylie up to that, but that was real. Melody's reaction was totally real. And why would Mike and Justine allow that to happen? I don't know, but Melody, I just wanted to reach to the TV and hug her, because that girl, I can imagine what she has been through. Like Mike himself said, and like Mike's sister said, she has been affected a lot, because she remembers a time that her father used to come home to her, because she is the oldest. And then suddenly her father didn't come home to her anymore. And then now her father is out, and still her father is not physically present in her life. So Mike said it, his sister said it. Melody has been affected a lot. And now Melody is hearing, not even out of her father's mouth, that he is moving to Vegas. And she asked Kylie, is it because you're going to college there? And Kylie said, no, it's because your father wants to pursue his music career, and he figures Vegas is the best place. But you know something? I found it incredibly selfish, and I'm going to say this, that Justine said in her confessional that she cannot be away from her daughter. I get it, Justine. Your daughter is going to college in Nevada. You don't want her to be away from you all the way across the country. You want to be close to her as possible. Trust me, I get it. I have one child. He's 4 hours away from me in school. That's too far. But Justine, you're taking Mike away from his kids all the way across the country, and they haven't seen him in what, 6 years and 5 months? Is that okay? I don't get it. This just sucks all the way around. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think, a couple of nights in a hotel room, some dominoes, matching silk pajamas is going to make it all okay for Mike's kids. Just saying. And plus, there's a new baby involved. I just feel so bad. I just feel so bad for Melody, especially because she's the oldest. And she remembers a time that her father did come home to her. And now he's not. So just saying. Just saying. So that's all. And I think I got everybody. Yeah. That's it. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. And